32 April 1991. The die had been cast, crucially, upon the back of several decisions made that day. Decisions that could never have been discriminated as being of any importance at all. The actions of one man, who had recently become a father for a second time, were nothing beyond the norm. The fact that they had run out of nappies for the baby wasn't unusual, nor was the bank account sagging into negative balance under the sheer weight of horribly ordinary bills. A poor night's sleep had become the expectation, as he and his wife had wrestled with the fledgling emotions of a newborn and her toddler brother. The children's grandmother could hardly have been blamed for being unavailable to babysit on that day, that particular day that wasn't meant to be unlike any other. So it was that the man drove his car along the quiet highway, with the mid-morning sun shining like it always had, and the acrid smell of bushfire denoting the backburning that was going on that day. The conditions had been right for the controlled burns that promised protection to the inhabitants of the Highland countryside. The scent of the blaze, the haze of smoke that clung to the air, these were unpleasant sensations, but nothing more. To the best of his knowledge, the worst of it had been calmed. His wife, his beloved wife, left for that brief reprieve of duty, left to be given sleep that was so sorely needed and deserved, because the children would be fine. Everything was fine. The baby girl slept in her bassinet in the main room, their son, their little explorer, preoccupied with the toys he had been penned in with, and the television that played at a low volume nearby. It's okay, love. A small amount of TV won't rot his brain. Of course he's content. Look at him quietly playing. I won't be long at all. Yes, he's had his breakfast. When I get back from the shops, we'll have some lunch. But our baby. Look at her sleep. Should have seen the nappy after that last feed. Weighed as much as she does. Please, get some rest. You need it. Of course they'd been aware of the challenges they'd face in having a second child. Naturally they'd spoken of the particular issue they'd faced with the birth of their son, the emergence of a postpartum depression that the new mother had fought so hard to manage. What if it happens again? We have a wonderful little boy. Maybe he's enough. He deserves a sibling. He shouldn't grow up alone. He'll never be alone. You've done so well. You can overcome anything. They knew there would be things they'd just have to make work. They could remember the financial strain of a single income, the time spread thinly between keeping the roof over the heads of the children, the maddening deprivation of basic needs and functions, the sleep deficits, the hours gone with aching arms soothing troubled babies. The four walls of the house turned torturous as meals were taken quickly and late, and showers taken in minutes bought, the same bedclothes worn and stained with sour milk. Let me fix it. You have to work tomorrow. So do you. He knew the sacrifices she made for them, and wished desperately to give her a world where she was not only recognised, but given the break she so sorely needed. Look, mate, I get it. Wife and kids at home. But we need you at work on time. I'm sorry. Bub was sick right when I was leaving. And the young fella spread his brekkie all over the table. The missus appreciates the help. I'll bet she appreciates the paycheck we give you too. They could be a touch more realistic, he'd thought to himself. The children would be this small only for a brief period. Blink and it's done. The greater pain would be to miss it. The man had decided to take the day. A gut instinct more than anything else. No, mate, can't make it in today. Both kids upset all night. Nobody has slept. I'll make up the time when I can. I hope you understand. Only once it became noticeable that his wife's demons had returned did the man begin to feel himself stretched to a point of critical failure. The days sat on a knife edge where one slip could send them spiralling, and they walked the fine line of building one another up as lovers do, even if it meant sacrificing those little parts of self that made them whole. I scalded my wrist on the baby's bottle. Are you sure about that? Look, it doesn't matter. I'm fine now. At first, she had tried to conceal just how poorly she was doing, because really, what do you have to complain about? Oh, you'll miss this one day. You should be so grateful. If only they'd admit their own struggle, that raising young children was never the happy dream it was presented as, that everyone hid their inner torments for sake of appearing all put together. I lost the baby weight in under 6 months. I was back at work and juggling motherhood as soon as I left the hospital. Oh, you're so lucky. My husband doesn't help me at all. People were better off minding their own business, he had told her. She had put on the mask, told him it didn't affect her. The guttural crying behind the bathroom door told him otherwise. Please, give me the lighter. I'm taking it off you, okay? You don't need to do this. I'm just all 6s and 7s. They're better off without me. Never. How could you say that? You are loved. You are our world. And they are my bright stars in a dark night. Other times, the conversation would not resolve in a positive manner. She's a baby. He's little. They'll forget me. They'll be happier without me. His heart bled for her. He could have screamed his devotion to her. He cried for her, begged her to come back. We'll make it work. We'll get through it together. But he could only plead from tear-stained eyes. Please, don't. Sometimes it feels like I'm already gone. Through the heightened vigilance of anxiety pulling his heart like a lead weight, he felt a momentary panic when he returned home and found his son was missing. The smell of the bushfires was more intense than ever, and his son was missing. But no, he must be upstairs with his mum. He'd clambered himself up onto the safety gate before, but there was no way he could climb over it completely. Surely not. No, there was no need to panic. Candace would have woken up from her sleep and was probably playing with him in another room. The baby girl continued to sleep in the bassinet, although the occasional twitch of her little face told that she'd wake soon. It was all a matter of logic, of the most likely solution being the correct one. Charles cursed himself. Of all things to forget, he'd forgotten the nappies. He stood, frustrated at his forgetfulness, foolish and sleep-deprived. His family deserved the best he could be. He needed to stay alert, focus on what each of them needed. He could do it. He would do it. He'd slipped up today, forgotten an essential at the shops. It was not a big deal. He could go back. Once he started to unpack the grocery bags, he became aware of a strange sound. The baby waking? No, this was coming from the kitchen. From the glass doors of the veranda outside, he noticed a trail of dirt leading to the cupboards beneath the sink, where the strange sound was coming from. The trail of dirt, the trail of a child's footprints, leading to the cupboard beneath the sink, where the strange sound came from his son who hid there. He felt his breathing quicken, his heart beginning to race, as he wordlessly removed his boy from under the sink and held his shaking form in his arms. But he was so little. There was no way he could have climbed out of the playpen. No way he was strong enough to do such a thing yet. He couldn't have wandered outside by himself, dirtied up his beautiful little feet. It was not a thing to worry about. The logical explanation would be the correct one, although it was now a delusion that threatened to cave in on itself. He took Lachlan to the playpen and placed him gently near the bassinet, the boy's eyes staring vacantly through him, beyond him, staring through the window to the backyard. Charles toyed with the sinister idea that his wife might no longer be upstairs, that perhaps she was out there, where their son was staring, outside of the house they had bought for their family. A blood-curdling dread turned in his stomach. In the warm day, he felt unbelievably cold. He looked at his boy. Wait. She must be in the greenhouse. She must have stepped out to tend to the flowers. It was a logical explanation. The doctors had suggested she take up gardening, take those little moments for herself when she could. It was a simple panacea to a problem that didn't need to grow too large. The smoke of the fires came with strength at the turn of the wind. Unpleasant, but nothing intolerable. It was smoke from the back burning. There was no way the smoke came from anywhere closer. He would find her in the greenhouse. That's where she would be. She would be tending to the flowers. It was a reasonable explanation. He would find her in the greenhouse. This wasn't really happening, he thought. Inside the house, he could hear the baby sending cries to her mother that would go unanswered.